I know many of you think you already know everything, but let me tell you, there are spots on a woman's body that often go unnoticed and, with the right soft touch, can trigger a wave of emotions. Today, I want to help you discover those sensitive areas that every woman loves to have attention paid to. And you know the drill. If you're enjoying what you're hearing, make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment telling me which of these tips worked best for you. Let's get started. 1. The nape. How a gentle touch can trigger a torrent of emotions. Listen carefully, guys. The nape is one of the most sensitive areas on a woman's body. A simple stroke of your fingers or a soft kiss can send shivers down her spine. Do you know why? Because it's an exposed area where nerve endings are very close to the surface. So next time you're near her, gently caress her nape or let your lips rest there for a few seconds. I guarantee you'll notice the difference in how she responds. 2. The lower back. The overlooked but highly stimulating area. Most men focus on the upper back, but I assure you the lower back is equally, if not more, exciting. This area is key for creating a sense of protection and connection. By softly running your hand over her lower back, you're creating a feeling of intimacy that is hard to describe. Don't be rough, gentleness is key here. Each caress tells her she can trust you, and trust me, that's incredibly exciting for her. 3. The ears. Whispers and caresses that awaken desire. Guys, the ears are another key spot. Just whispering something soft or grazing her earlobe with your lips can send a direct message to her brain that things are about to get more interesting. Don't underestimate the power of a whisper, because it's a very personal form of intimacy. If you pair that whisper with a gentle touch around her ear, you'll create an atmosphere charged with desire. The ears are a point that, although often ignored, never fail if done right. 4. The neck. The most exposed and sensitive area every man should explore. The neck, particularly the sides and back, is one of the most erogenous zones on a woman. Don't overlook it. Gentle kisses or slow caresses with your fingertips can spark desire in seconds. The trick here is not to be too fast or rough. Let her enjoy each touch. Feel how the atmosphere fills with tension. If you take your time, you'll see how her body responds without you having to do much more. 5. The belly. Why gentle caresses here can heighten sexual tension. The belly is often underappreciated, but let me tell you, it's full of sensitivity. By softly running your hand over this area, you're creating a feeling of security and trust. And if done right, every touch on her abdomen can heighten sexual tension. The key here is to go slow, use the tips of your fingers, and make every movement count. The belly is an intimate area, and if you touch it carefully, you're building a much deeper connection. 6. The inner thighs. A prelude to passion. Now we come to an area you're probably familiar with, but I want to emphasize how important the inner thighs are. This is one of the most sensitive areas on a woman's body, and if done correctly, it's a direct prelude to passion. Don't rush. Gently caress this area, increasing the tension bit by bit. The inner thighs are packed with nerve endings, and if you focus on creating a sensory experience with your touch, you'll push her to the edge of desire. 7. The wrists. Erogenous zones men tend to overlook. Surprisingly, the wrists are also an erogenous zone most men tend to overlook. By caressing the wrists, you're touching a part of the body that is extremely sensitive and directly connected to the nervous system. This is one of those subtle touches that may seem insignificant but can have a big impact. Plus, touching the wrists is a form of intimacy that isn't invasive but communicates a level of desire that can be very powerful. 8. The shoulders. How a massage or caress can change everything. A shoulder massage might seem simple, but it's an excellent way to generate desire. Shoulders are a tension zone, and when you take the time to massage them, you're not only relaxing her but also creating a physical connection that can lead to something more. Make sure to do it carefully and with attention, because what seems like a simple massage can turn into the prelude to something much more intense. 9. The feet. The unexpected spot that can lead to greater intimacy. I know a lot of men don't think of feet as an erogenous zone, but you'd be surprised at how sensual they can be. A good foot massage can relax her in ways few things can, and at the same time create a sense of intimacy you didn't expect. If you've never tried it, I invite you to give it a shot. A few minutes massaging her feet can completely change the dynamic of an intimate situation. 10. The hands. The importance of firm but gentle touches. Finally, don't underestimate the power of hands. Hand caresses may seem like an insignificant gesture, but they're one of the subtlest ways to generate desire. Touching her hands firmly but gently sends a clear message of connection and desire. It's an intimate gesture that might go unnoticed, but it has a profound impact on how she perceives you. Never underestimate the power of a well-timed hand caress. So there you have it, guys. These are the most sensitive places on a woman's body that can spark desire and lead to something more. Remember, the key lies in gentleness, patience, and attention to detail. If you learn to touch these areas with the right care, you'll see how the dynamics of your relationship shift in a positive way. Now, what are you waiting for? Put these tips into practice and come back here to let me know how it went. Hidden areas women want you to discover. Have you ever wondered what really turns a woman on? Today, I'm going to reveal some hidden areas that most men overlook, but that can make a big difference in how she experiences intimacy with you. Pay attention, because if you really want to know how to catch her attention and keep the passion alive, here's what you need to know. And if you're enjoying what you're hearing, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more tips. 1. The collarbone. How to highlight her sensuality with a subtle touch. The collarbone is one of the most underestimated yet sensitive areas. A gentle touch here can be incredibly sensual. You don't need to overdo it. A light stroke or a delicate kiss can work wonders. The key is to be subtle and attentive to her response. If you notice her shiver, you're on the right track. Stop trying to impress with flashy moves and focus on the small details that really matter. 2. The ribs. A sensitive spot that can heighten intimacy. The ribs are one of those areas that rarely get touched but can be incredibly erogenous. A soft touch or a kiss here can intensify intimacy. Don't just touch her. Pay attention to how she reacts. If she laughs or shivers, it's a good sign you're doing something right. Don't stick to the obvious. Explore these sensitive areas and make her feel special. 3. The waist. The best way to hold and caress this part of the body. The waist is a perfect zone for holding and caressing. Make sure to hold her firmly but without being rough. The way you touch and hold her can communicate much more than words. A careful touch and a loving embrace around this area can be incredibly comforting and sensual. Don't treat her like an object. Show that you truly care. For behind the knees, an overlooked area full of sensitive nerves. Behind the knees is an area most men ignore, but it's surprisingly sensitive. A light touch or caress in this spot can cause a very positive response. Experiment with different types of touches and see how she reacts. Don't overlook these small details, as they can make a huge difference in how she feels with you. 5. The ankles. The power of unexpected touch in this area. The ankles might seem insignificant, but an unexpected touch here can be very stimulating. You can start by softly caressing the ankles and then slowly move up. This kind of unexpected touch can create a sensual tension and spark her interest. Don't stay on the surface. Explore and play with these small details. 6. The lower neck. Light strokes that awaken desire. The lower neck is a very sensitive and erogenous zone. Light caresses here can awaken a lot of desire. You don't have to be aggressive. A soft touch or delicate kiss can be enough to ignite passion. Don't miss the opportunity to explore this area, as it could be key to creating a deeper connection. 7. The armpits. A less explored but highly erogenous spot. The armpits are an area most men avoid, but they can be incredibly erogenous. A touch or kiss here can be very stimulating. Be respectful and attentive to her signals. If she seems to enjoy it, keep exploring this area gently. Don't be afraid to go beyond the obvious. 8. The inside of the elbows. An intimate area few touch properly. The inside of the elbows is another area that often gets forgotten. A soft touch here can be very intimate and sensual. Try caressing this area with your fingertips and watch her reaction. This kind of detail can be very effective in increasing intimacy and desire. 9. The groin. How to approach without being too direct. The groin is a highly sensitive area, but you need to approach it carefully. A light touch or kiss near this spot can be very exciting. It's important not to be too direct. Let the contact be subtle and gradual. Knowing how to handle this area can make a big difference in how she experiences intimacy. 10. The chest without touching the breasts. Maintaining tension without rushing. Finally, the chest without touching the breasts is a zone where you can maintain tension without rushing. A soft touch or caress in this area can be very stimulating. The key is not to rush. Maintain the tension and let the desire build gradually. Don't try to rush things. Enjoy the process and watch how she responds. Remember, these details can make all the difference in how she experiences intimacy with you. It's not just about touching, but about doing it in a way that shows care and attention. If you truly want to deepen your connection with her, start paying attention to these details, and you'll see how your relationship becomes more fulfilling and intimate. How to explore a woman's erogenous zones without being intrusive. Today we're going to cover a very important topic that many of you need to understand: how to explore a woman's erogenous zones without being intrusive. We all know that the female body is full of sensitive areas, but the trick is knowing how to touch them in a way that creates a pleasurable and respectful experience. Often, men make the mistake of being too direct, and that can ruin the moment. So today, I'm going to walk you through how to do it step by step, so that the connection becomes much deeper and more effective. And you know the drill. If you like what you're hearing, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and drop a comment if you've ever found yourself unsure of how to start. Let's dive in. 1. How to start with back caresses without going straight to the intimate zones. Many men tend to rush things and go straight for the obvious spots, but trust me, the back is an excellent place to start. It's not only an extensive and sensitive area, but touching the upper and mid-back can help relax her and create a much more intimate connection. Take your time and caress gently with your fingertips. No rush. This not only relaxes her, but it also starts to build an atmosphere of trust and desire. 2. The art of touching her feet. How a simple massage can lead to something more. I know many of you don't think of feet as an erogenous zone, but let me tell you, you're underestimating their power. A good foot massage can be extremely sensual. Start with gentle movements, applying light pressure in the right spots, and you'll see how she gradually relaxes, letting herself be carried away by the pleasure. Best of all, this kind of touch is non-invasive, yet deeply intimate. It's a great starting point to increase closeness without crossing any lines. 3. The nape and neck. Why starting gently is key to success. The nape and neck are very sensitive areas that should always be on your radar. Start with slow, soft touches and you'll see her body respond immediately. You can combine this with a light kiss or a brush of the lips, but the important thing is not to be rough. The key here is to be delicate. These are highly sensitive areas, and with the right touch, you can ignite desire without being too forward. Remember, subtlety is where success lies. For shoulders and collarbone, how to trigger desire with a simple stroke. The shoulders and collarbone often go unnoticed, but if you touch them the right way, they can be incredibly erotic. A gentle shoulder massage or a soft stroke along the collarbone can unleash a wave of pleasurable sensations. The key is to stay gentle and avoid rushing. Every movement should be slow and intentional, so she feels that everything is under control and that you care about every detail. 5. The thighs, approaching without crossing the line. The thighs, especially the inner part, are one of the most sensitive areas of a woman's body. However, it's important to know how to approach without crossing the line. Don't rush. Start with light caresses on the outer part and slowly work your way inward. The trick is to build tension, making the contact a prelude to something more without being too obvious. This will make her feel desired, but without feeling invaded. 6. The stomach. The importance of not underestimating this pleasure spot. The stomach is an area that men often underestimate, but it's extremely sensitive to touch. Light caresses on the abdomen can be a wonderful way to create a sense of intimacy and desire. Plus, this type of contact is very respectful and non-invasive, allowing her to relax and enjoy the moment without feeling pressured. Don't underestimate the power of stomach caresses, as they can be the perfect step towards something more. 7. The hands. How hand caresses can be more sensual than you think. Sometimes the simplest parts of the body can be the most erotic when touched correctly. Hands are a perfect example of this. A soft stroke on the palms or even between the fingers can create an unexpected connection. It's an intimate touch that's not too direct but communicates closeness and desire. Plus, touching hands is something you can do at any moment without it feeling forced. Don't underestimate the power of a simple hand caress. 8. The ears. How whispering and touching can take her to another level of excitement. Ears are one of the most intimate and sensual parts of the body. A gentle whisper in her ear, combined with a caress of the earlobe, can work wonders. This is where you can get a bit more creative. Whisper something sweet or even something playful, and pair it with a light touch. Ears are not only a sensitive spot, but also an excellent way to build anticipation and desire without being too intrusive. 9. The lower back. How to touch without being invasive but keeping the intention. The lower back is another place that men often ignore, but it can be incredibly sensual if touched the right way. This is a perfect area for slow, circular caresses. It's not invasive, but at the same time, it makes it clear that your intention is to create intimacy. The lower back is a key zone because it's close to more intimate areas, creating a sense of anticipation without being too obvious. 10. The wrists. An unexpected touch that can spark passion. Finally, let's not forget about the wrists. Although often overlooked, wrists are incredibly sensitive. A simple stroke or light touch can be surprisingly erotic. The key here lies in the unexpected. Touching the wrists might seem insignificant, but if done right, it can ignite a spark of desire. It's one of those zones that not many explore, but it can create an instant connection. And there you have it, guys. A complete guide on how to explore a woman's erogenous zones without being intrusive. The key is in subtlety, in knowing how to build desire without crossing boundaries. Every touch should be calculated, soft, and full of intention. If you learn to touch these points the right way, you'll be creating an intimate experience that goes far beyond the physical. Now, what are you waiting for? Put these tips into practice and come back to let me know how it went. Discover the spots that make a woman instantly attracted to you. Today, we're going to talk about those special spots that can make a woman feel instantly attracted to you. But before we get into it, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more valuable content like this. We're going to be straightforward and honest. If you don't want to be the guy left behind while others are making women feel irresistibly attracted, then pay attention. 1. The lips, the first step towards intimacy. Lips are much more than just something we use to talk. They're a gateway to intimacy, and if you want a woman to feel instantly attracted to you, you need to know how to handle them. It's not just about kissing, it's how you approach it. Soft touches, slow kisses, and gentle caresses can be very powerful. Don't be rough or rushed. The key here is rhythm and intention. Lips can convey desire, affection, and respect, and if you know how to use them right, you'll be on the path to intimacy. Don't fool yourself into thinking any kiss will do. A woman notices every little detail. 2. The neck, the most obvious erogenous zone you shouldn't ignore. The neck is one of the most sensitive and notable erogenous zones on a woman's body. It's not a place you should touch randomly. It should be a conscious and delicate gesture. Gentle caresses on the neck can send powerful signals and increase attraction. Use your fingers to trace soft lines from the base of her neck to her jawline. And don't forget that warm breath can have a significant impact. The combination of touches and whispers in this area can be extremely seductive. If you overlook the neck, you're missing a chance to create a deep connection. 3. The inner arms. How gentle strokes here can create instant desire. The inner arms are an often overlooked area, but they can be incredibly responsive to touch. Gentle caresses here can awaken intense sensations. Be sure to use light pressure and pay attention to how she reacts. This area is vulnerable and usually less exposed, so touching it can make a woman feel special and valued. Don't underestimate the power of a subtle touch in this area. It could be the start of a deeper connection. For the breasts, how to touch with respect and desire. Breasts are one of the most talked about areas, so it's crucial to handle them with respect and care. Touching a woman's breasts should be an experience where she feels comfortable and desired, not invaded. Pay attention to her reactions and adjust your touch accordingly. Use your hands to explore gently and sensitively, without rushing. It's important that your touch communicates both respect and desire in a balanced way. Don't think any touch will do. Sensitivity and consent are key here. 5. The buttocks, an area that should be explored carefully. The buttocks are another area that requires a careful approach. The key is subtlety and respect. If you decide to explore this zone, make sure to do it in a way that doesn't feel invasive. A firm but gentle touch can be stimulating, but always be mindful of her comfort and reaction. Don't treat this area as just an object of desire. It's an integral part of the connection you're building. A considerate touch can be incredibly effective if done right. 6. The waist, where your hands can guide the interaction. The waist is a zone that allows for more guided and fluid interaction. It's where you can place your hands to show interest and control the pace of the interaction. Touching the waist can be a physical way to communicate intimacy and desire. Don't just use this area as a grip point. Instead, use your touch to establish both emotional and physical connection. How you handle this area can influence how she perceives your interest and respect. 7. The upper thighs. How to hold attention without being too direct. The upper thighs can be highly suggestive when touched correctly. Keep your attention in this area without being too direct or invasive. A light and considerate touch can awaken desire without crossing boundaries. Use this area to create physical contact that's sexy but also respectful. The key here is subtlety and the ability to read her signals. Don't misuse this zone. Instead, use it to build sexual tension in a way that's mutually satisfying. 8. The feet and ankles. How to start a connection from the unexpected. Feet and ankles are often overlooked zones, but they can be very effective in creating a connection. A touch on the ankles or a caress on the feet can be surprisingly intimate and sensual. This unexpected approach can be an interesting way to build attraction. Be sure your touches are soft and considerate, and don't forget to observe how she responds. This type of contact can show your attention to detail and your ability to create a unique experience. 9. The face. Why caressing the face can be a gesture of deep intimacy. The face is one of the most personal areas of the body, and caressing it can be a deeply intimate gesture. Gentle strokes on the face can convey tenderness and affection, and can be a powerful way to establish a deep connection. Use the tips of your fingers to softly touch her cheeks, forehead, and jawline. Don't rush it. Let the touch be slow and deliberate. This kind of contact can make her feel special and deeply connected to you. 10. The neck and nape. The perfect combination of passion and tenderness. The neck and nape combine the best of passion and tenderness. A touch on the nape can be extremely seductive and delicate at the same time. Use your fingers to trace gentle lines along the neck and nape, combining soft caresses with light kisses. This combination can awaken deep feelings and create an atmosphere of intimacy. Don't rush these areas. Instead, use your touch to build both an emotional and physical connection that is genuine and meaningful. Remember, guys, touch is an art and needs to be handled with care. If you want a woman to feel instantly attracted to you, you must be mindful of every gesture and every caress. It's not just about where you touch, but how you do it. Intention and sensitivity are key here. The power of gentle touches on hidden erogenous zones. Today, we're going to unravel the mystery of those hidden erogenous zones that, with the right touches, can take you to a whole new level of connection and attraction. So get ready to stop making mistakes and start doing things the right way. Before we dive in, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel to keep learning how to improve your skills and avoid being the guy who always falls behind. Let's get started. 1. The lower back. How a light touch here can create instant connection. The lower back is an area many overlook, but it's incredibly responsive to gentle touches. Here, less is more. A light and soft touch in this zone can work wonders in creating an instant connection. This area is sensitive and can communicate a sense of security and comfort, making her feel appreciated and desired. If you want to leave a positive impact, avoid being rough or invasive. A simple caress or light pressure can be much more effective than a strong grip. Don't underestimate the power of this subtle touch. It can be the beginning of something much deeper. 2. The shoulders and the base of the neck. The perfect spot to unleash relaxation and desire. The shoulders and the base of the neck are areas that can be extremely effective in both relaxing and igniting desire. This is where you can use your hands to give soft, relaxing massages. Not only does this type of touch relieve tension, but it can also be a prelude to something more intimate. The key is to be mindful of the rhythm and how she responds to your touches. Don't rush. Instead, take your time to explore this area with slow, steady movements. The combination of relaxation and desire in this zone can create an inviting and attractive atmosphere. 3. The ankles and calves. How small touches can awaken sensations throughout her body. The ankles and calves are often forgotten zones, but they offer a great opportunity to awaken intense sensations. A delicate touch or massage in these areas can have a surprisingly positive effect on her overall well-being. Use your fingers to make soft, circular movements, paying attention to her reactions. These touches can create a sense of connection and anticipation that radiates throughout her body. Don't underestimate the impact of a massage here. It can be the perfect prelude to more intimate interaction. For the ears and behind them, the art of combining whispers and touches to create an intimate setting. The ears and the area behind them are incredibly sensitive zones that can be highly erotic if touched and stimulated correctly. A soft whisper paired with light touches can create an atmosphere of deep intimacy. Use your lips and fingers to explore these areas delicately. Whispers in the ear can be incredibly seductive, and gentle strokes behind the ears can intensify the emotional connection. This approach can make her feel valued and deeply connected to you. 5. The inner arms. An underrated zone that can generate pleasure. The inner arms are often an underrated zone, but they can be very pleasurable to touch. Here, soft touches can have a profound effect. Use light, careful movements to explore this area and observe how she responds to your touch. The inner arms are a zone that can convey feelings of tenderness and closeness. Don't ignore this area. A subtle, thoughtful touch can be an effective way to increase attraction and intimacy. 6. The hips. How touching them subtly and suggestively can make her feel more connected to you. The hips are an area that can be very sensual when touched with respect and subtlety. A subtle and suggestive touch on the hips can heighten both physical and emotional connection. Use your hands to explore this area with smooth, confident movements. The key is not to be too direct. Instead, let your touches be an invitation to a deeper connection. The hips can be a starting point for more intimate interaction, as long as they're handled with care and consideration. 7. The area between the shoulder blades. An underexplored but highly sensitive spot. The area between the shoulder blades is one of those spots that's rarely explored but highly sensitive to touch. A light, thoughtful touch in this area can be incredibly pleasurable. Use your fingers to make soft movements along the upper back, paying attention to how she responds. This area can be a source of great pleasure if touched with the right technique. Don't ignore this zone. Explore it carefully to create an enjoyable and satisfying experience. 8. The knees. How simply caressing this area can generate erotic tension. The knees can be a surprisingly erotic zone if touched properly. A simple touch or caress on the knees can generate powerful erotic tension. Use your fingers to explore this area with gentle, careful movements. The key is not to be invasive. Instead, let your caresses be light and suggestive. This area can be a great place to build anticipation and emotional connection. 9. The lower abdomen. Gentle caresses that build anticipation. The lower abdomen is one of the most sensitive and erotic areas. Gentle caresses here can build a great deal of anticipation and excitement. Use your fingers to make slow, deliberate movements in this area. Don't rush. Instead, take your time to explore and increase the anticipation. The key here is to be delicate and attentive, making sure every touch is thoughtful and wanted. 10. The heels. How a massage here can lead to deep relaxation and open the door to something more. The heels can be a very effective area to start building a deep connection. A massage on the heels can lead to deep relaxation and set the stage for a more intimate interaction. Use your hands to apply gentle, steady pressure, and observe how she responds to your touch. The heels are a zone that can release tension and open the door to a deeper connection. Don't underestimate the impact of a good heel massage. It can be the beginning of something truly special. Guys, it's time to stop making the same mistakes and start applying these tips. Hidden erogenous zones can be a major advantage if you know how to handle them.